Okay, so I'm 62 years old, and apparently, according to my daughter-in-law Madison, I'm losing my mind. My memory is going. I'm confused. I'm forgetful. I'm one step away from wandering into traffic in my bathrobe, asking strangers what year it is. Except here's the thing, I'm not. My memory is fine. Actually, it's better than fine. I can remember my childhood phone number, every address I've ever lived at, and the exact date I bought my first car. I remember everything. But Madison had other plans. It started small, innocent even. We'd be having dinner at my son Ryan's house, and Madison would say something like, "Remember, Mom, you already told us this story last week at this exact same dinner." And I'd pause, confused because I hadn't told them that story. I was sure I hadn't, but she'd look at Ryan with this concerned expression and he'd give me this sympathetic smile like, "It's okay, Mom, it happens." And I'd think, did I? Did I tell them? Am I actually forgetting things? Red flag number one, but I brushed it off. Because maybe I did tell them. Maybe I'm not as sharp as I think. Maybe this is just what getting older feels like, second-guessing yourself constantly. So I let it go, but then it happened again and again. "Mum, you're wearing the same outfit you wore yesterday." No, I wasn't. I specifically remember changing. "Mum, you left the stove on last time you were here." "I didn't cook anything last time I was there." "Mum, you asked me that question literally 5 minutes ago." I didn't, but every time she'd say it with such confidence, such certainty, and she'd look at Ryan for backup and he'd nod along because why wouldn't he believe his wife? And slowly, I started questioning myself, started wondering if maybe my memory wasn't as good as I thought, started keeping notes on my phone about conversations so I could double-check later, started feeling anxious every time I opened my mouth because what if I was repeating myself? What if I was forgetting? What if I was becoming that person? Then came the big one, the incident that made everyone think I'd completely lost it. We were at a family barbecue at my house. Ryan, Madison, my daughter Sarah, her husband, the grandkids, everyone. I'd spent all morning preparing, made potato salad, marinated chicken, set up the yard. It was perfect. We were all sitting around eating, having a great time, and Madison suddenly goes, "Oh, Mom, I forgot to tell you, I brought that serving platter you asked me to return." I looked at her confused. "What serving platter?" She laughed, this light, tinkling laugh. "The one you lent me 3 months ago? The blue ceramic one? You called me twice this week asking when I was going to bring it back." I felt my face get hot. I didn't call you about a platter. I don't think I even have a blue ceramic platter." She pulled out her phone. "You definitely do. Look, here are the texts." And she showed everyone her screen. Messages from Muai, the number. "Hi, Madison. Just wondering when you'll return my serving platter." Madison, still waiting on that blue platter. Madison, the platter. I stared at those messages. They were from my number, with my contact name, but I didn't send them. I would remember sending them, wouldn't I? Everyone was looking at me now, with concern, with pity. Sarah touched my arm gently. "Mum, are you feeling okay? Have you been to the doctor recently?" And Madison, with this perfectly practiced expression of worry, said, "Maybe we should think about having you evaluated, just to be safe. Memory issues can be serious." Memory issues. She was diagnosing me at my own barbecue in front of my entire family, and everyone was nodding like, this made sense. Like I was clearly declining and they'd all noticed but were too polite to say anything. I felt humiliated, scared, angry, but mostly confused because those texts existed. They were real from my phone. So either I sent them and forgot, which meant I was losing my mind, or something else was going on, something I couldn't quite put my finger on. After everyone left, I sat in my kitchen and cried. Actually, cried. Because what if they were right? What if I was forgetting things? What if this was the beginning of something serious? I called my doctor the next day, made an appointment, told her everything. She ran tests, cognitive tests, memory tests, blood work, everything. And you know what? I was fine, completely, totally, perfectly fine. Your memory is excellent for your age, she said. Better than most people half your age, actually. Whatever's going on, it's not medical. Not medical. So what was it? I drove home thinking about everything. The repeated stories I supposedly told, the outfits I supposedly wore, the stove I supposedly left on, the texts I supposedly sent, and something clicked. All of these incidents, every single one had one thing in common. Madison. She was always the one bringing them up, always the one remembering things I'd forgotten, always the one with proof. And she always did it in front of other people, in front of Ryan, in front of the family. Never when we were alone, never in private, always public, always with an audience. That's not concern, that's not trying to help, that's performance, that's building a narrative. And the narrative was, Mum is losing it, Mum can't be trusted, Mum needs help. But why? Why would she do that? What did she have to gain from making everyone think I was senile? I thought about it for days, couldn't sleep, couldn't focus, just kept running through scenarios. And then Ryan called. Hey, Mom, Madison and I were thinking, maybe you shouldn't live alone anymore. Maybe you should consider moving into a care community, just for safety. A care community. He meant a nursing home at 62 because his wife convinced him I was incompetent. Ryan, I just saw my doctor. I'm fine. My memory is fine. I know you think that, Mom, but the platter thing, the repeated stories, Madison's really worried. We're really worried. Madison's really worried. Of course she is, because she started this. She created this. I'm not moving anywhere, I said firmly. I'm perfectly capable of living alone. There was a pause. Mom, we might need to think about power of attorney, just in case. Madison's been researching it and... Madison's been what? My voice came out sharper than I intended. But power of attorney, the legal right to make decisions on my behalf, to control my finances, my property, my life. It's just a precaution, Ryan said quickly, just to protect you. Protect me, right. Protect me straight into a nursing home so Madison could, what? Get my house? Control my money? I wasn't rich, but I had savings. I had property, I had assets. And if she could convince everyone I was mentally incompetent, she could control all of it with Ryan's blessing, without me being able to stop her. Because who's going to believe the confused old lady over the concerned, caring daughter-in-law? Nobody. That's who. I hung up and I made a decision. If Madison wanted to play games with my memory, fine, let's play. But I don't play to lose, I play to win. And I was about to set a trap that would expose her for exactly what she was, a manipulative liar. But I needed proof, real proof, not just my word against hers, because my word meant nothing anymore. She'd made sure of that, so I got smart, I got strategic, and I got angry, the productive kind of angry, the kind that makes you focused. First, I installed security cameras. in my house. Small ones, hidden ones, the kind that record everything and upload to the cloud. Living room, kitchen, hallway. If someone was in my house messing with my stuff, moving things, taking things, doing things that I'd later be accused of forgetting, I'd have proof. Second, I changed my phone passcode, made it complex, biometric lock. If those texts really came from my phone, someone had accessed it and I was going to make damn sure it didn't happen again. Third, I started documenting everything. I kept a daily journal on my laptop, password protected, detailed notes about every conversation, every interaction, every visit, timestamps, what we talked about, what I wore, what I ate, everything. So if Madison tried to say I repeated myself or forgot something, I'd have a written record proving otherwise. It sounds paranoid. It sounds crazy. But you know what's crazier? Being gaslit by your own daughter-in-law while your family watches you decline. Then I waited and watched. And sure enough, Madison made her move. She came over one afternoon. Just checking on you, Mum? All smiles, all sweetness. She brought coffee. We sat in the kitchen chatting. Normal stuff. She used the bathroom. And while she was gone, I noticed something. My phone was face down on the counter. I'd left it face up. I'm sure of it. I checked the security footage later, and there it was, clear as day. Madison in my kitchen, picking up my phone, trying to unlock it, failing because of the new passcode, putting it back down, looking frustrated. She tried to get into my phone and she failed. Red flag number 800, but I didn't confront her. Not yet. I needed more. I needed something undeniable, so I set the trap. I invited everyone over for Sunday dinner. Ryan, Madison, Sarah, her husband. Just a nice family meal, I said. I've been feeling so much better lately. Want to celebrate? Madison jumped at it. Of course she did. Another opportunity to catch me forgetting something, another performance. The day before the dinner, I called Madison, left a voicemail. Hi, honey, just confirming tomorrow's dinner. Oh, and I'm making that recipe you love, the mushroom risotto, the one with the truffle oil. See you at 5. Here's the thing. Madison is allergic to mushrooms, deathly allergic. Everyone knows this. I've known this since she married Ryan. I would never make mushrooms if she was coming. Never. It would be dangerous. It would be insane. But I wanted to see what she'd do with this information, how she'd weaponize it. Sunday came. Everyone arrived. I'd made chicken parmesan, no mushrooms anywhere. Madison walked in, took one look at the table, and her face fell, just for a second. Disappointment. Then she recovered, smiled brightly. We sat down to eat. Everything was normal, pleasant. And then halfway through dinner, Madison said very casually, Mum, I'm so glad you changed the menu. I was worried when you said you were making mushroom risotto. Everyone stopped eating, looked at me. What? I said, playing confused. I didn't say that. Yes, you did, Mom. You left me a voicemail yesterday. You said you were making mushroom risotto with truffle oil. She looked around the table. You know I'm allergic. I was honestly scared to come today. I thought maybe you'd forgotten about my allergy. The concern in her voice was perfect. The implication was clear. Mum almost killed me with mushrooms because she forgot I'm allergic. Ryan's face went pale. Mum, did you really say that? This was it. This was my moment. I pulled out my phone. Actually, let's listen to that voicemail, since apparently I'm so forgetful. I played it on speaker. My voice, clear as day. Hi, honey. Just confirming tomorrow's dinner. Oh, and I'm making that recipe you love, the mushroom risotto, the one with the truffle oil. See you at 5. Everyone stared. I looked directly at Madison. You're right, I did leave that message, but here's the interesting part. I opened my laptop, pulled up my security footage from yesterday, the timestamp showing me in my kitchen, phone in hand, recording a voice memo. I recorded this message on purpose as a test. Madison's face changed. The sweetness drained away. A test? Yes, a test. Because I wanted to see what you'd do if I pretended to forget about your allergy. If I pretended to make a dangerous mistake. And look what happened. You used it. You turned it into another example of poor, forgetful mum who can't be trusted. I don't know what you're... But here's what you didn't know, I continued, pulling up more footage. I've had cameras in my house for 3 weeks, and I have footage of you, Madison, trying to unlock my phone when you visited, going through my things, and I have my doctor's report showing that my memory is perfect. Excellent, actually. Better than average. So every story about me repeating myself, every claim that I forgot something, lies. All lies. The table was silent. Ryan looked between me and Madison, his face a mix of confusion and dawning realisation. Madison, is this true? She tried to salvage it. She's paranoid. She's setting me up. This is exactly what I've been warning you about. She's getting worse. The texts about the platter, I said calmly. Show me your phone right now. Show everyone those texts from my number. She hesitated, just for a second. But that second told everyone everything. I don't have to prove anything because they don't exist, do they? You made them up, you lied, just like you lied about the repeated stories, just like you lied about everything else. You've been gaslighting me for months, making me think I was losing my mind, making my family think I was incompetent. And why? So you could push for power of attorney? So you could control my assets? So you could put me in a home? Madison stood up. This is insane. Ryan, are you going to let her talk to me like this? But Ryan wasn't looking at her. He was looking at me, really looking at me, seeing me clearly for the first time in months. Mum, you set this whole thing up. The voicemail, the cameras. You knew she'd use it against you. Yes, because she's been using everything against me, and I needed proof because nobody believed me, not even you, Ryan. His face crumpled. I thought you were getting worse. I thought we were helping. You thought wrong because you trusted her more than you trusted me. Your own mother, the woman who raised you, who knows you, and you let her convince you I was senile. Sarah, who'd been silent this whole time, spoke up. Madison, is any of this true? Did Mum really repeat stories? Did she really forget things? Madison grabbed her purse. I don't have to listen to this. Answer the question, Sarah said firmly. Did you make it up? Madison's jaw clenched. And then the mask fell completely. Fine. Yes, I made some of it up, but it's not like she's young. She's going to decline eventually. I was just speeding up the process, getting ahead of it. She'd just admitted out loud to systematically destroying my reputation and credibility because I might decline someday. Get out of my house, I said quietly. Ryan, we're leaving. No. Ryan's voice was cold, colder than I'd ever heard it. You're leaving. I'm staying. I need to talk to my mother, the mother you've been torturing for months. Madison looked shocked. You're choosing her over me? You gaslit her. You tried to make her think she was losing her mind. You almost got me to put her in a nursing home. Yeah, I'm choosing her. I'm choosing the truth. Madison left, slammed the door so hard a picture frame fell off the wall, and we all just sat there in the wreckage of her lies. Ryan had tears in his eyes. Mum, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I should have believed you. I should have seen it. You couldn't, I said gently. That's what manipulators do. They make you doubt reality. They make you doubt the people you love. It's not your fault. But it was partly his fault for trusting her over me, for not questioning, for letting it happen. We'd work through that eventually, but not tonight. Sarah hugged me. You're brilliant. You're scary brilliant. Remind me never to cross you. I laughed, a real laugh, for the first time in months. Noted. Ryan stayed. That night we talked until 2 a.m. about everything, about the signs he'd missed, about the things she'd said, about how she'd slowly, methodically built this narrative, and about how he'd believed it, how easy it was to believe, because why would his wife lie about something like that? What kind of person does that? A dangerous person, that's who. Someone willing to destroy an innocent woman's reputation to get what she wants. Ryan filed for divorce 2 weeks later. Turns out Madison had debt, lots of debt. Credit cards, personal loans, a defaulted car payment. She'd been banking on getting access to my assets through Ryan, through power of attorney, through control. It was never about concern. It was always about money. It's always about money. So if this story made you want to install security cameras or made you grateful you trust your own memory, hit like and subscribe, because I've got more stories. Stories about people who underestimated little old ladies. Stories about gaslighting that backfired. Stories about traps that worked perfectly. Spoiler alert, never bet against a woman who raised kids, ran a household, and still remembers every birthday, anniversary, and promise you've ever made. Our memories are fine. Better than fine. We remember everything, every lie you told, every manipulation you tried, every single mistake you made. And when we decide to fight back, we don't just win, we obliterate. So go ahead. Tell me I'm forgetful. Tell me I'm confused. Tell me I'm old. I dare you, because I'll remember that too, and I'll make you regret it.